What's happening is that Hasan got named. Yesterday, 2 Israeli diplomats were killed. This is the guy that did the shooting. I believe that's him. There he is again. And there he is. So this is him talking right here. So he shot and killed 2 people.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Singing a confession. Singing a confession. Bro is literally just giving him the whole playbook right there. That's all they're going to need in court on him is right there. What he did, he gave them motive. He may as well have just jotted it down. Like, yes, I 1000% did this. Here's why. Here's the weapon I used. Yes, I'm pleading guilty. This was an idiot move. And it's probably the same type of idiot who can get radicalized by an absolute knobhead like Hasan.
All of us need to call it out. I'm thinking about the New York Times doing a gauzy profile a few weeks ago of this gamer, Hasan Piker, who regularly employs awful genocidal rhetoric. Like, extremists should not be empowered. People who spout prejudice should not be platformed. This is a moment when we need to look ourselves in the mirror and say, we've got to stop this because the consequences are deadly.
Now, I want to say this. Before we go any farther, I hate the stuff that Hasan says. I don't like him. I think he's ignorant. I think that he's dangerous. But when we start talking about we shouldn't platform people that we disagree with, that's very dangerous. That's very, very dangerous right there. I believe in freedom of speech. I want to be able to say what I feel is right and what I want to say. Whether somebody else agrees with it or not, that is my First Amendment right. So I would never try to take that right away from anybody else. Now, clearly, social media platforms have their right to be able to deplatform people. Freedom of speech is the right that I have to stand on business in my own home or the streets and say what I believe. YouTube doesn't have to let me do that. YouTube can say, you know what? We think you're a dumbass and we're going to take your shit away. Twitch or Kick or TikTok is obviously TikTok because they've permanently banned me 4 times for talking about murdering pedophiles in violent ways. Let's jump back in here and see what Asmund has to say because I'm sure Az has a lot to say about this.
But
it gets better. This was from April 2025. Twitch needs to stop making decisions based off of their radical, politically motivated moderation team, because eventually there's going to be a lack of moderation for something that's really bad. Like some sort of like really bad, like somebody gets killed, like kind of like the Luigi thing, but like maybe a little bit worse than that. It's like political. And if you...
So Asmund called this. Asmund 100% called that something abhorrent like this was going to happen because of the moderation team at Twitch. And it seems that it has. Now, here's the thing. Like, I understand why platforms would deplatform somebody who is calling for violence against a nationality or whatever, because then when somebody actually acts on it, they have some sort of culpability in that, right? And also, advertisers probably don't like it. Like, if you're calling for the death of, people in Israel or people in South Africa, whatever the case may be, whatever your wormhole about, whatever your wiggle is, whatever's waffling the paint off of your walls at night, if you're out there spouting dangerous, violent stuff, advertisers aren't going to want to. And let's face it, these platforms aren't out here doing this out of the kindness of their heart. This isn't a charity. They're trying to make money. There we go. I want you to check this out because this is some of the most entertaining shit I've ever seen. Like, I love what Nux does. Nux is gangster.
Most I possibly can. So we all know Adolf Diddy Bin Laden Piker. All right. We all know Hamas the Diddler. And we all know how this absolute freak loser over here has been going around defending rapists and terrorists and murderers. He's been slandering everybody. He's been freaking out constantly. And realistically, it's only gotten worse. Because even though this guy goes on his stream, he calls every single person that ever criticized him pro-genocide, he is against the white people getting murdered in South Africa. I don't know how you could have this position. I do not know how on earth you could have the position to be against the white people that are getting murdered in South Africa. But this man found a way. He found a way. Now,
yeah, the stretches that he does, like this dude must be limber. I feel like this dude does like some yoga, maybe some Pilates, maybe a little bit of CrossFit to be able to do the stretches of logic and critical thinking that Hasan does. If there's a bad take out there, Hasan's going to try to justify it. He's going to hunt it down. He's like a bloodhound for shitty takes. And then he just like latches onto them no matter how bad they get. And he's just like, yes, this is it. This is the one. It's the white people who have been murdered in South Africa's fault that they got murdered. We're gonna back the terrorists. At every turn, this dude makes himself into a radical terrorist supporting douche canoe, bro.
Like, do you think that person is closer to a fucking normie, or do you think normie is the guy who watches the VTuber,
it's me, guys.
Israeli VTuber who's off to drawn children?
This is just a lie. Again, it's not true. He can never engage with a point I make. He just rather slander me on his stream in front of tens of thousands of people. You know what? Earlier I said I don't think I'm going to sue him. I changed my mind. I think I'm going to sue him. I'm just saying. I think I will. The more he says this, the more info I actually have to make a court case about this. I might.
Do you know how bizarre it is to watch a anime cartoon jousting a real life person and going, you know what? The anime cartoon makes way more sense than the actual human being on the screen. The human being on the screen seems like a total degenerate asshat piece of shit, while the anime cartoon actually has critical thinking, logic, and makes good points that people should be able to agree with.